What up, crew? Hey, listen, so I'm back with another live journal reading. It's been a couple of weeks. Here we are. It's election day. Get out and vote. We'll get right to it. This is the Wayback Machine going back October 11th, 1992. Today went well, or you could say I got up, ate, went to church. In church, the class went well. After that, went to Renee's funeral. No idea who Renee is. I don't remember this funeral. It was a nice funeral. Brooke had a friend there that was looking pretty good, as usual. Total girl crazy in this one. From there, I went to the teen singing. This was a church event. It was already over by the time I got there, but we did get time to catch up with the guys. Jenny Johnson was there, and she looked pretty good. Ooh, I must not have known her that well. I love you. Love you. Sorry. We then went back to Terry's. But before we did, this is the greatest because I don't remember any of this. Before we did, we had to stop and get gas. When we got there, I looked up and I saw a girl that looked just like Becky Castleberry. I have no idea who Becky Castleberry is. I guess I could Facebook look that up. I then told the guys, it's Becky Castleberry. It's Becky Castleberry. Like the normal geeks, we yelled out the window to Becky several times. She looked the whole time, but never acknowledged our existence. It probably wasn't her. Then went back to Terry's, had hamburgers with the BB's secret recipe in it. I have no idea what that means either. Anybody? BB's? Was that a place? Is that a sauce? Nobody knows. Um, then after church, went up to Tim's, saw Craig and Sam, got on the computer, got on Orville Flying Circus, played the pit, killed Craig a few times, and then watched the Braves game. They were losing 0-4. I think I'll go to bed soon. And then this is when I get into things to do upon my death. Upon my death. This is interesting. Number one, I really don't want a funeral. Okay? Really don't want a funeral. Number two is a Star Trek reference. Worf didn't want his body at the funeral. So why do I want mine? Because, Star Trek is definitely the thing to emulate. Number three, and this is sweet, but if I die, I want someone to carry on my name. Well, wish granted. I got my children. And then my final wish is that I be buried in the painted desert of Arizona. That was my wish. We drove through there as a kid. It's interesting. All right. The next day, highlights. Let's see here. I hung out in the art room pretty much the whole day. But they were working on 2-point perspective, which was really easy. At lunch, Karen Hoodenpyle came and spoke to me for no real reason. But who cares? The rest of the day was pretty normal. Carrie Gerganis was looking really good, but didn't talk to me. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, that's pretty much what I said. I then went home and watched TV until I remembered that the Columbus Day protest in Miller Park was that day. I got up, got Stephen Sells, and headed down to Miller Park. It was great fun, and I heard some good speakers. I then went home, once again, got on Orville's Flying Circus and Phil Thatch Connection. Saw Tim and Sam and Craig. And then we got bored, so we went out to the barn and played some pool. There was a pool table in the barn. I then came home, did some homework. Surprise. It says surprise. And then went to bed. Ooh, I don't know how that homework went. Real quick, October 13th, it went fairly well. Ate, got my cousin, went off to school. I first went to the library to see Craig and Sam weren't there. And then I just went to the art room. It was fun, I guess. I then went through the rest of the day without any interesting occurrence. After practice, I went up to Tim's where Craig was, got on Phil Thatch Connection, hung out. Um, and then did nothing, and then came home, went to bed. And then the last day. Today was pretty good. October 14th, 1992. I went through the normal routine in the morning, except for the fact that I forgot my books at home. I may do. I don't use my books much anyways. I could barely read. I got to school, and we didn't start a new Battletech game, which was disappointing. But I went to art every day. Went to art. Later in the day, I went to Bible class, and they gave a test on what you were going to be when you grow up. The best question was, do you want to have a chance to join bandits in a sheriff's posse? And I said yes. It said I needed to be a mailman when I grew up. I guess it was a bit interesting. I then went to football practice. It was the hardest yet, but one of my most productive. It was tough but fun. I then went out to Eastgate Mall. Okay, Eastgate Mall, home of the Orange Julius's and Chick-fil-A. There, I had to pick up the Cliff Notes to the book report for Turn of the Screw. Isn't that new movie about that? Turn of the Screw, which was due tomorrow. I don't think I did well, and I don't think I read those Cliff Notes. We also ate some Chinese at the Golden Dragon. The Golden Dragon was the greatest Chinese place in 1992. Then we headed out. I watched the Braves game. The score was 1-0 when I got bored of it and decided to go to bed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. And then I end it with a little Bryan Adams quote from the song from the glorious movie Robin Hood. Everything I do it for you. Remember that one? Oh. Anyways, love you guys. Have a good one.